What did you think was the best performance this weekend? Was it Noah Lyles cementing his status as the greatest villain in track and field, running technically the fastest time this year?
Lyles is going to take it!
Maybe 16-year-old wonder kid Quincy Wilson running his 3rd world record of the year in the dang rain? Because quite frankly, mine just might be full-time doctor Mackenzie flying between patients to win Diamond League titles.
Yeah, full-time doctor as well, so combines 2 careers brilliantly.
First, we start at the Holloway Pro Track Classic, where Grant Holloway takes a break from destroying everyone on the track to work as a reporter and maintenance man. Quincy Wilson ended his freshman high school track season with a personal best of 45.87 seconds, a 4th place finish at the Under-20 Nationals, and a 2nd place finish at the New Balance High School Nationals. Absolutely phenomenal talent. As a sophomore, who knows? He might even crack sub 45 next season.
200, look at the advantage he has. Never count out the youngster on his inside, because here comes Wilson.
Quincy Wilson rewrites record books wherever he goes. Pushing for the line. Wilson and Dedman headed to Paris, and they meet the line at the
44.20 seconds. And in the process, crossed Bryce Dedman off the US Trials revenge list. What this kid has done in a year was absolutely unthinkable. He's now pulled his 2023 PR down by over 1.5 seconds, lowered the under-18 world record 3 times, and beyond decimated it by 0.64 of a second. And just for reference, this is 0.64 of a second since bowling ran the exact same time as the previous under-18 world record. Quincy Wilson is this much better than any other under-18 in history. And he's only 16. Nothing much else can be said. He's had nothing short of a dream season. 7 PRs, an Olympian, and his 3rd world record that he ran in the rain. Fills you with a tiny sense of self-doubt, doesn't it? There's a good chance he goes even faster this season. Another prodigal talent also returns. Erriyon Knighton is back on the track for the 2nd time this season after somehow dodging a drug ban. After deciding to give the entire field a head start, he goes on his merry way to demolish them in what looked to be a pretty easy effort.
Tuning up for Paris, Erriyon Knighton in good form, lightning fast to the line.
19.92 seconds. His season has definitely been disrupted, being forced to debut at the trials, but you know it could be worse. He could be banned. Honestly, considering he politely waited for the gun on this one, this was a really solid performance heading into the Olympics. I can honestly only see maybe one person being able to stop the US from sweeping the 200 this year. And last for this meet, not really a highlight, but Athing Moo fans must be in absolute disarray. An injury stopping her from racing this year, a trip at the trials, and now this.
Athing Mo fading.
And what we thought would be the start of a revenge arc has turned into a fall from grace. At least for this season anyway. Moo leads through to 150, and on the final stretch, fades like lightning McQueen in Cars 3.
Listen, don't you worry, pal. You had a good run. Enjoy your retirement.
I honestly think this is the type of shit a generational athlete needs to kick their ass into high gear. But now, it's London Diamond League time, and it never disappoints. 60,000 person crowd, Olympic caliber matchups, and the best of the English weather, overcast and kind of warm. But before we start, I want to do something different. These were the raw track results. Most of them, if not all, historically significant times. But who do you think did it best? I'll give you a second, write it down, because I'm going to be ranking them based on how they measured up to their historical counterparts. And ranking at the very bottom, yet legitimately the most exciting race of the meet, the women's 200 meter. What was originally meant to be a Gabby Thomas vs Julian Alfred matchup ended up in a wild goose chase. Off the gun, and Hudson-Smith wasn't playing around. She was headed out at what looked like world record pace, and while Thomas looked absolutely dead in the water, she somehow did this.
You can throw a blanket. Thomas is coming late. Has Thomas got it? Yes, he has.
A seemingly impossible comeback, 21.82 seconds into a negative 0.9 meter per second headwind. Thomas really shown that I'll kill you attitude.
It's just a whole different person. It's like an alter ego. I'm gonna rip your head off.
And Alfred has now proven more than once she's in the form of her life with a PR of 21.86 seconds. Man, these times into a headwind, Sharika Jackson got her work cut out for her. Next in line, the men's 100 meter. Everybody hates Noah Lyles, because man, he won't stop talking. And in an unreasonable stacked lineup of himself, Tobogo, Hughes, Simbine, Hinchliffe and Blake. Come on, we knew who the fastest was.
Well, a good start from Lyles. Here comes Lyles, though, easing through, going well on their side. Simbina, but Lyles is going to take it.
But goddamn, Lyles is fueled by this shit. 9.81 seconds with a dominant win over the toughest field this year. And his start looked crisp. And when that's the case, ain't nobody chasing him. This time, landed himself a spot in the top 15 of all time. So obviously a new PR. But it was done into a small headwind. Minor detail, yeah? Get this. If we negate the win for both Thompson's 9.77 and Noah's 9.81 this year, Noah ran the faster time. The 100 meter isn't only up in the air again. Some might just consider Noah the favourite. He's the one with the experience. He's proven he can run rounds and win in the big time. And he's done it all with 1 week till the Olympics. Noah Lyles is him. And in the background, man, some of these other times were cooking too. And somehow, Quincy Wilson wasn't even the closest to the fastest in the world this week. Because as of the last 2 weeks, the men's 400 is on a rampage. I'm not sure if it's just Olympic year, or if all the grown men in this event are just scared because a 16-year-old is creeping up on them. But Mathew Hudson-Smith, after running 44.07 last month for a European record, just absolutely destroys it, eating the comp by 300 meters, and even letting off at the line.
Coming back at him is Norwood as well, who finishes really strongly. Let's keep an eye on the clock. Oh my word!
43.74 seconds. That sets him up as the 12th fastest all time, and the world leader right before the Olympics. Great Britain is showing up this year. It's so wacky, man, because the 400 was really looking weak until Quincy Wilson started running fast. That's all I'm saying. And then the women's 400. Sydney Mclaughlin-Levrone has finally been dethroned in her secondary event. Off the gun, Clava pulls her usual shenanigans, committing suicide in the first 200 meters. But she was actually holding up pretty well until you realise NCAA's champion Nyckisha Pryce, this is just her usual pace.
Run here, but Nyckisha Pryce will not be caught. She's finishing so strongly. Brilliant running.
A PR shattering 48.57 seconds, now 7th all time, and doing it while 11 races deep this year. That's ridiculous. You're not supposed to just keep getting faster and faster like this, defying the laws of fatigue. Jamaicans everywhere have been singing her praises all season long, and she keeps giving them a good reason to do it, hoping she can continue the hot form just a little bit longer. And while the men's 800 meter has been popping off, well, the women say, why not us too? In front of a packed 60,000 person home crowd, the Brits put on a show led by Keely Hodgkinson to a blazing 1 minute 54.61 second time.
Going through the gears. Let's keep an eye on the clock. 155, remember, is the British record, and she got it. 155. Oh, it's a new world lead. 154.61.
That's the second fastest time this decade, and plants her as the 6th fastest athlete all time. But like many other races this season, it's never just the one person running fast anymore. Behind her, Riki and Bell come home in 155 and 156. That makes these 3 Brits the 3 fastest in the world this year, and they did it in front of a home crowd. And for the highest ranked track performance of the London Diamond League, it's Femke Bol doing what she does best, demolishing everyone else that isn't Sydney Mclaughlin-Levrone in the 4 hurdles because she doesn't ever turn up to race.
Traveling beautifully. Watch the clock. Conditions here are great. We know that. This is going to be quick. And Jameer Little coming through for second. But look at Bol. Watch the clock. 51.30.
Bol's stride and race pattern has been looking stronger and smoother than ever, and the times really represent that, speeding home in 51.30 seconds, her second fastest time ever, next to her 50.95 second time from earlier in the week. I'm not going to push my luck. Okay, maybe a little. 0.35 seconds is a hefty margin for what looked to be a dang near perfect race from her. But on the contrary, Sydney's fastest time outside of Hayward Field is 51.46 seconds. So honestly, you could say it's looking pretty even. The last time these 2 raced was in 2022, and even then, they've only ever actually raced twice. The landscape of this imaginary rivalry is always changing, since they never actually face off. But one thing you can count on is Bol is a very different athlete from 2022. And I'm sick of the speculation. I hope we get the race we all deserve this Olympics. Now to the field. There are many stories of elite athletes having to work full-time to support themselves. But how about an athlete that chooses to work full-time while they compete just because they can? Introducing Australia's Dr. Mackenzie Little, full-time doctor, part-time elite javelin thrower. She literally flies back home between meets to work and still takes out the London Diamond League win in a flying 66.27 metre throw.
A new personal best for the Australian.
That's the second farthest throw in the world this year. She's saving lives, PRing, and looking to be in the hot seat to pick up a gold come Paris. Imagine your doctor having to reschedule an appointment because she's busy winning an Olympic gold medal. And lastly, in the men's shot, we got the Olympic matchup minus the Olympics. The whole gang's here, although the distances weren't. Krauser led from round 1 to 5, till Italy's Fabry popped out a 22.52 metre shot to stay in the comp and secure the win at the same time. And what seemed like just a win for Fabry, this is Krauser's second loss in 2 years. He might just be human after all. Howdy fellas, thanks for sticking around to the end, and a quick few announcements. Patreon, secondary YouTube account, Twitter. I'm looking to branch out and really try up the quality of what I do. That, and I probably won't get monetized at all during the Olympics due to copyright. That or my channel will get completely vaporized. So chuck me a follow elsewhere, consider supporting the channel so I can continue to pump content, and I guess just improve what I do in general. Eventually taking over the whole website. Thanks and love y'all.